going on, man?
What's the word, baby? How you doing?
Man, all good, man. Welcome everybody back. Last week, I know we were absent, but we had a lot going on. Joe had some stuff going on in Canada up north, and your boy E had a call of games. Welcome back to the Devo and Kris Joe show. We're excited. We're back. We got a lot to talk about, man. But so, Joe, kind of update me on, I guess, what's been going on with you.
Jordan. I'm hearing you. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Oh,
can you hear me, Joe?
Yep, way better.
Okay,
way better.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. That was probably me having my charger in the computer.
Maybe. Who knows at this point?
Yeah, that's what it was, man. I'm sorry, I fucked up.
Hey, it happens. What was that?
Man? Let me know what's up.
Hey,
what's going on,
I'm
man?
good,
What's been
bro.
good with you?
Last week I was in up north, like you mentioned, in a village with 23 to 2,500 people, trying to grow the game of basketball out there in the indigenous parts of the province. You know what I mean? That they don't get much attention and things like that. This is my second time up north. I went up north to another village, sorry, not a city, in July, which had like a population of like 800 people. And they had the school, there's only one school in that whole joint. They had a basketball court. So, growing the game out there, bro, village by village, and just they're starting to have teams. Although this village that I was in, which I was telling Jordan earlier, it sounds like the finals of a spelling bee. Like this is the type. The name of the village is Kujuwarapik. You know what I mean? So that's like Kuujjuarapik. That's how you spell it, if I'm not mistaken. It's a long ass name of the village, but they actually have a little community center out there that has two full courts, like side by side, almost like the Mello Center. Obviously not the Mello Center, but in the way that it's set up, where there's two full courts side by side, glass backboards, not wood floors, kind of like that. It's not wood floor, some other material, like damn near tile, but
yeah,
it job done for out there. It was cool, bro. Got caught in a blizzard. 2 days lockdown, full on blizzard.
Damn.
That was an experience. Winds of 70 kilometers an hour, which I don't know what that is in miles, but it was up there. You can't tell the sky from the ground. It's white everywhere. It was crazy. But the fact that we were able to go out there and all right, my boy. The fact that we were able to get out there and again through basketball, bro, to see those smiles on those kids' faces, just being able to. I brought two of my players out there too. You know what I mean, just so that they could get that experience as well. And it was a hell of an experience, bro.
And I think being able to bring your guys out there and see that, like, hey, man, it could be way worse than it is where you're at right now. I know. And we always fucking, and I'm guilty of it too, man. Like always, like we don't have enough, or this isn't working out, or whatever. Oh, Jordan, shout out to Jordan.
Yo, appreciate you.
Okay, 43.5 miles per hour. That's some fucking strong ass winds right there. But I think
I'm talking about yeah.
Being able to bring those guys and have them experience that, it's kind of like a perspective shift. You know what I mean? Like it kind of humbles you and brings you back down. Like, fuck, man, I guess, my situation isn't so bad compared to, a lot of other people.
100%. You think I'm gonna just compare the two villages that I've been in. The first village I went to in July is the way that their water system works. There's no underground like plumbing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a water tank that gets filled every day. So now you gotta ration your water. You gotta take 5-minute showers. You can't flush when you take a piss, because now you're wasting water. They only flush when they take a shit. Little stuff like that, bro, that they gotta be conscious of. The water is not drinkable in that village. So they gotta boil their water 10 times over, damn near, whatever it is, for it to be straight. The village that I was in this time around, had the water was drinkable. It had regular plumbing system. So that's why that's considered one of the better villages in Nunavut, because of that specific reason. You could take a 30-minute shower if you wanted to. The water won't run out. Like
None
those
of it.
little things, bro. Nunavut. Yep, with a
That's
K
the
at the end.
province.
Yep, that's the. No, the province is still Quebec. That's I guess, the region or whatever you would call it. I wasn't never good at geography, but none of it. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. It's hell of an
How far is
experience.
that from you?
It was a 3-hour flight. So
Oh
just to
shit! So
think that
that's
I
far,
took a
dude.
3-hour flight and was still in Quebec is wild, because this is somewhere I never thought about going up north. I knew it existed, never took the time to read what's going on out there. Never knew that it was villages that only had 800 people, 2,500 people. You find that in a mall in Montreal. Like a mall, you could have 2,500 people, like give or take, at the mall. Just to think that that's what they have in a whole village, and they're content with what they have, bro. But the thing that I think is key is just them knowing, and social media helps that a lot, but just them knowing and give it, like them seeing, kids their age, like the players that I brought, them living in Montreal, kind of giving them, like you said, it also gives them a different perspective. It goes both ways. Like the kids that I brought see how happy they are. Like, you don't have to have much to be happy. You don't need much. And on the other hand, the kids from Nunavut, they're seeing like, damn, there is more than just what my eyes can see out there in the world. You know what I mean? So it works both ways, and they were able to connect and talk. And it was great for me to see them interact that way, because that was the whole purpose of me selecting those two guys to go down. I figured they would get the most out of that opportunity, and they did, bro.
And it's kind of funny, bro, because you just kind of mentioning that. On one hand, I'm thinking like for the kids in the village, like we don't need a lot to fucking be happy, right? It's just our society, like what we were born in, just like it's always more,
Yep.
more, more. You need more, 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 right? Like, but if you got shelter, you got food, you got some clothes, like shit. A lot of
The
the motherfuckers ain't got
necessities.
clothes.
Yeah.
They walking around naked out here, but as long as you got those things, that those few things, like you can be happy, you know what I'm saying? Because and again, like that's all those kids really know, you know what I'm saying? But for now, when they're introduced to, like, say you go to a big city, Montreal or New York City, like on one hand I'm like, yeah, we want them to experience it, but on the other hand I'm like, damn, now will that corrupt their mind with all the bullshit that's going on, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I
Right.
think for me, like for the kids that came with you, like it'd be more beneficial to them, I would say, because
For sure.
they could be like, shit, dude, like we got all this shit, like I gotta fall back, like I don't even need all this extra shit, you know what I'm saying? Like all this social media and shit, like I don't know, like I feel like all that shit introduced to these kids who aren't used to it, it could corrupt their minds, you know what I'm saying? Now a motherfucker on the phone 24 hours a day type shit, you know what I'm saying, when he hasn't even had that type of experience. And it could go both ways, but I think for
That's
you,
how I
just
feel.
bringing those kids out there, having that experience, like it's humbling for them, and then it's a good teaching, for the kids that want to get better, and that's like an Inuit, right? Is that a Inuit like
Exactly.
community type thing?
Exactly. I believe that term is kind of, been abolished. I don't know if they, what I'm saying, but I believe that,
Did I fuck up?
but yes, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure either. I just know that
Yeah,
I
because
believe
real
that's why I
shit, it
said
might have been some,
indigenous, the indigenous
racist shit.
community.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. I think it is like
Okay.
over time, it became to be like, oh, that's like a derogatory term, you know what I'm saying? If that's
Okay.
what you want to call it, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But that's why I say indigenous, and keep it safe.
Yeah. So, bro, let's. I mean, that's awesome, man, that you're able to do that
Nah,
and
nah, nah,
experience it.
nah, nah. Don't skip nothing, man. I need to know how Tulsa, Charlotte was.
Oh
I
my
need to know
God.
how that went down. I need to know how my guy Rob doing over there, and how that was, because that's Cuse. And let me
Yeah.
just fill me in, fill us in on that experience and that game.
Man, it was dope. So I've been busy, man, the last few weeks. I've been traveling a lot. I did the Charlotte at Tulsa game, and then I traveled the next day and did the Wake Forest at Notre Dame game. So first, the Charlotte game was cool. It was with Pat O'Keefe, who was the radio guy for the New York Knicks. So it was cool to be able to work with him and experience that. And I did see my guy, Big Shot Bob, Robert Braswell. He's doing good. He's doing good. And I saw a lot of people that I actually know through the basketball world. Aaron Fern, D. Nick, yep, I saw him in Notre Dame. But in Charlotte, Aaron Fern, he's actually the head coach of Charlotte. And I played against him, or he coached in Cairns when I was playing over in Australia in 2010, 2011. So he came up to me right away, and you know, the basketball world is small, Joe. So just being able to run into those people that you've seen all across the world, like this guy was from New Zealand, and I ran into him in Australia. Now, you know, he's the head coach. He's the head coach of Charlotte. But awesome experience. Tulsa's a low key a really good city. Like that was my first time really out there exploring. I think it's over 1 million people, and good weather, so it was a dope city, and it was a dope experience to be able to, you know, call that game for the American Conference. And then obviously going to South Bend, you know, beautiful campus, Notre Dame. It was a beautiful weather when I got there, except the day that I left, it started snowing. It went from 70 to fucking 25 the next day. That's just that's that Midwest shit. But it was good to, you know, I called the game with Jay Alter, who's a Syracuse guy as well. That was really fun, man. It was fun to do it with him. It was fun to see D. Nick and catch up with him. And I actually go Friday back down to North Carolina. I'm doing Clemson at Wake Forest, so I'll see D. Nick again, and I'm doing it with West Durham. Yeah, I'm trying, bro. I mean, I'm just, you know, the opportunities they're coming. I'm trying to take advantage of them, and I enjoy it. It is a little bit tiring doing all the traveling, but that's the shit that we used to. We've done that shit, man. So just blessed, man, with the opportunities that are coming.
Continue, no question.
And you know what? That shit is a lot of prep, man. Really, more so than both teams. It's like, now I'm like watching all the fucking conference games. You know what I'm saying? Like all the ACC games, because now you find out little tidbits and shit that you can kind of say on the broadcast about different players, different coaches, things like that. So it's a lot more in depth than I guess people would really know about it. So yeah, man,
bullet points, all your little quick notes that you need to, you know, about players. And he eats fucking Cheerios for breakfast. All shit that you need to know.
Real shit. No, that's real shit, bro. Like, he's you know, he likes to tie his left shoe first before his right. You know, just a little shit that motherfuckers want to.
Little shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's but it's dope, man. It's cool because that's kind of beforehand. But like when you get into the game, I mean, you just talking hoop, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's kind of just flowing when you get to the game. But yeah, man, that's what's been going on. So busy and happy to be back on here with you. So let's talk about last night a little bit. You know, talk about the Qs. Obviously, they've been rolling, bro. Like they've been playing well. Yeah. Obviously, last night, you know, wasn't the outcome that everyone wanted, 90-75 at Clemson. But like I was on the post game last night, bro, and I was telling Brian, I was saying, man, Clemson was not going to go into that game and lose, man. I could see it, like senior night at the crib, a lot of emotions. You know, you got P.J. Hall, Joe Girard, Shefflin, and you know, a couple other seniors. I think Jack Clark. Hunter, Chase Hunter. So, I mean, those guys from the get, I mean, I think their whole game plan was like, man, we're going to throw that motherfucker inside.
The seniors going to eat. Yeah.
And eat. And P.J. Hall, I mean, 21 in the first half, and then you seen Shefflin, you know, 16 and 16. He didn't miss a shot. Joe had 21. And, you know, I think for, you know, besides the slow start in the first half, Cuse did a good job of sticking around Copeland and obviously Mintz. But then that second half, because it wasn't a bad game offensively, you know what I mean? But we just couldn't fucking stop anybody. You know what I mean? When you're giving up 90 points on the road, and Coach Red said it last night, you're not going to fucking beat anyone giving up 90 points. Home or away, you know what I'm saying, in college basketball. So it's just, you know, it was a tough one. And now I think, you know, you got to go into the ACC tournament and really win 3 or 4 games, bro. You got to at least get to the championship to even give yourself a chance.
Be considered.
And one thing I will say, Joe, man, these dudes fought. like throughout the whole year. You can't really be discouraged at the outcome because they fought. They got to 20 wins the first time they got to 20 wins in ACC play. I believe in 10 years, I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
Coach Red, obviously, first year head coach, getting 20 wins in his first year. And just the way that this team has came together, missing McLeod, not really having a big man, not really having a lot of shooters besides Chris Bell. I mean, these dudes fought to tooth and nail to the end.
Leave.
You're right, Benny leave.
Benny's
It was a lot of shit.
situation. So
It was a lot of shit going on,
to be
man.
dealing with.
So what? I mean, I guess from your perspective, what was on the game last night? What did you see, bro?
Well, so for one, I would say one thing that I was seeing constantly is that we weren't proactive enough. You know what I mean? It was situations where we have to make a rotation and we wait till that ball is in the person's hands and now we're rotating to it. We take that little slight second of not being on our toes and head on the swivel, and we were a step late a couple times. I think that Clemson did a great job of moving the ball and causing second and third closeouts and rotations and getting themselves some open shots, open looks. They probably could have knocked down more than what they did. They hit 11 threes, but they probably could have hit a lot more because there was a lot of wide open ones. But like you mentioned, bro, it's not easy to deal with everything that we dealt with and get to this point, playing six guys pretty much, or 6.5, however you want to call it. Depends on if Cuff is scoring or not. Typically, we're going 5 plus QC. You know what I mean? And if Kyle Cuff come in there and he's playing all right, which he did, he came in, made some shots early, did a decent job in the first half, face guarding Gerard, you know what I'm saying? And he played and ended up scoring 9, if I'm not mistaken, hitting 3 threes. Then we might get 7 guys see some action. But playing 6 guys and, Malik playing a 40, everybody damn near playing 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Besides Chris Bell, QC and Taylor, who starts. So it was tough, bro. But again, I think trading baskets was tough. We can't hit a 3 to come back down and give up a 3. And that's where I mean when we got to be a little bit more proactive in what we were doing. Even late in the game, when now we're in scramble mode and we're fighting to get back and we're pressing, there was an instance where PJ Hall had just gotten a dunk. Boom, we come back. QC airballs a 3. Everybody's up at that point, but Chris Bell is the last man, the last line of defense. And instead of him, seeing that RJ Hunter is leaking out, he kind of stays in the where everybody else is. He's the last man back. So, but when that ball was passed, now he's trailing the play, trying to get a chase down block or whatever it is. So just being a little bit more proactive would have helped us, I feel like, throughout the stretch. But overall, bro, we played as good a game as we could play. We took care of the ball. We didn't get out-rebounded crazy. You know what I mean? We just had to make a couple more shots. They made 11 threes. We made 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 8 for 22
is not great shooting night. You know what I mean? We could have probably made a couple more, but we do take a couple tough ones. But, Clemson, you got to give them their credit, give credit where credit is due. They stuck to the game plan early and often. They got the ball inside of PJ Hall, and that set the tone for them. And even then, they were getting inside-out looks. And inside-out looks, whether it's from a post touch or whether it's from a paint touch, from a guard, they did a great job of executing what they needed to. So,
absolutely.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, 100%. I'm looking at the stats, too. Like, we shot 48% from the field. You said 8 for 22 from 3. Now, one big thing is, 11 for 16 from the free throw line. So we missed 5. We left some there. The rebounding margin, 33-26, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
17 to 9. So you talked about the ball movement for Clemson. I mean, they did a great job moving the ball, making those extra passes, getting it down low, and then being able to play inside and out. 17 assists to our 9, which I think, our 9 assists goes a lot to how we play usually. I mean, just like our team is built to where it's a lot of guys who could, make plays individually. And it's not a lot of opportunities for us to be able to drive and kick unless it's going to be with Chris Bell. And I think that other guy who really would have been able to help us with the drive and kick is Justin Taylor. And he's been struggling, I think, mentally, and we talked about it last night on the post game. He's just in one of those ruts, like mentally, where the confidence isn't there. Like I think a few games ago, he played well, but for him to be able to get going, this has to start on the inside and like be aggressive, right? Like be physical, get your body touch, start to feel it a little bit, like really engage yourself and then work your way out. You know what I mean? Get to the free throw line. But one thing, regardless if you're going through whatever you're going through when you playing, dog, you have to stay aggressive. You have to stay a threat on the floor, because when you don't, now the defense is starting to pick that up. They can smell that. You know what I'm saying? Like they could,
Yeah.
oh, this dude, he ain't playing aggressive. Like I'm gonna get up him and really make him play. You know what I mean? And that's when the turnovers start to happen, when you're playing hesitant. So just my advice to him is just stay aggressive. Like make a miss. Like I'd rather be 0 for 11 than 0 for 2. You know what I mean? Because the shots and the opportunities are there for you. You just got to be able to be aggressive and take them. Like, dude, this is basketball. You're going to miss shots. You're going to make shots. You're going to make turnovers. You're going to make plays. The biggest thing is always have confidence in yourself, because you're here for a reason, bro. Like, it's not like you're not here by mistake. You know what I mean? Somebody on that coaching staff saw the potential in you. They knew what you could do, and that's why you're here. We all go through, a little funk sometimes where we question ourselves, but you got to be able to push through that and continue to be aggressive. And I think he will. Like, he'll get there. Like this season, I don't know. Like it's kind of winding down now, but I think for him in the summer, get back in the gym, bro. Start getting your flow back. Start getting your groove back. You know what I mean? So go start getting a lot of jumpers up and get ready for that next year. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's a guy who could really add another dimension for us that we need as far as shooting the basketball. Because it's really been Chris Bell. And last night, Chris Bell didn't. He didn't really do much, to be honest. You know what I mean? I think he hit 1 or 2 jump shots, but
he hit a 3 top of the key. Yep.
Yeah, and you need more than one shooter, bro, to be able to help space the floor and give our guards good driving angles. And JJ, he's been playing really well as of late. Didn't have a great game last night, but he's another guy that can shoot the ball. But as far as like the drive and kick guys like Bell and Justin Taylor, like those are the guys that we really needed to help space the floor out. And it just hasn't been there all season, Joe. You know what I'm saying? As far as that consistency, it's been hard to play like that, which is pretty impressive, looking at our record, being 20-11, not having all the things that I guess a well-rounded basketball team would have. Clemson's a well-rounded basketball team, bro.
Yeah, they are. They really are. And the sets that they run that demand attention, like when Joe's coming off that little, either it's a handoff and we gotta send our big Malik to kind of hedge out a little bit because we don't want to give him no room. That opens up things and they could pass the ball. They play a really good basketball game. One key thing that you said, bro, and when I was watching the game, this was going through my mind, was consistency. And you just mentioned that. You just said that word. And for me, it's like, who are we going to be on a day-to-day basis? Now, granted, basketball is basketball. Like you mentioned, there's going to be games where you're, off or you don't make a shot, but you got to have a lot more on days than you do off. Like we can't go from having 17 assists in one game. And again, assists is a two-way street, right? If I pass you the ball, you got to make a shot for it to count. But we were also missing some layups, some easy stuff at the basket. From an individual standpoint, could I rely on you on a nightly basis to be who you are, who we think you are as a player? You know what I mean? And I think that's what we're lacking. And I don't know if that's what you can account that to, or is it youth? Is it inexperience? I'm not sure at this point, but consistency hasn't been something we're able to be all season. You know what I mean? You see spurts where, hey, we play a great brand of basketball, and the next game we go away from what was working. You know what I mean? We shift our whole, whether it was driving kicks or we were getting the ball on the inside or playing different. But now we go into another game and we do something else. We move away from what brought us success previously. And that's where I think is the key, is like we got to keep doing what brings us success. We got to be able to keep doing that game in, game out, because that consistency is needed, man, between to be a good team. You know what I'm saying? Just for what are we going to be able to do? What's our identity every night? What are we going to be able to hang our hat on? Is it the fact that we're going to defend, be gritty, rebound, or make good plays or whatever it may be, bro? But we got to be consistent in what we do, because the law of averages is if you stay steady with what you're doing, you're going to have a lot more success than you will failure if you keep doing the same things consistently.
Well, what is the identity of this team? I guess that's a good question. What do they really hang their hat on? I mean, we know they got a lot of talented guys offensively. Defensively, they have the capability, but it just hasn't been there, every single game like it's needed to be. So I guess what is the identity? What do you think?
That's what I've been trying to figure out, from game one, just to see, okay, what are we going to be able to do? Who are we on a nightly basis? And it keeps on changing, whether it's, if you're in there and I would say if we're going to hang our hat on something, we're hanging our hat on offense, right? We're hanging our hat on, let's win these individual matchups, but that hasn't been beneficial for us in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, we won 20 games, and that's fantastic, bro. Shout out to Red and the staff and the players. It hasn't been an easy season, like you mentioned earlier, but if that's what we're hanging our hat on, it's tough. And that's what it seems, because it's not on the defensive end. Because if, a team that hangs their hat on defense like Virginia, like they know they're trying to hold you to 50 points. That's their goal probably coming in. We're going to hold this team to 55, 60 points, a good 10 points below their average. And then we think that we could score the ball well enough to win a basketball game. Our defense is not what we hang our hat on. Syracuse has always been an explosive offensive program. And I believe that that's what we continuously try to, bank on, is our offense is going to get us through another game. But there has to be some balance. You know what I mean? We can't be 90% offense, 10% defense, or it has to really be a great balance of we're able to get stops, make shots, we're able to be disciplined, and all those things go into being a good basketball team, whether that's maturity, experience, but something has to click.
And I think, obviously the identity, of our team when we played, and, earlier in the year when Boeheim was coaching, it was the zone. Like that was like, and like you said, having explosive offenses who get out and play fast, score in transition, create turnovers on the defense end. But that zone was something that, we did hang our hat on, as far as, keeping teams below their scoring average, below their shooting averages. We were always like top in the country at keeping teams, shooting a low percentage from the 3-point line. You know what I mean? Because we had that length and that athleticism. And you know what? I think that it takes guys a little bit to learn the zone. I get that. I'm talking, I'm going back to when we were playing in recent years, but being able to plug that guy into the zone and just know a spot, it could be, for me, it's about effort and energy, and knowing the rotation, knowing the spots. But when you start playing man to man, it's a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you gotta be proactive.
Exactly. Like you got, like for man to man, like take yesterday for example. Their Clemson's whole game plan, we're going to throw it in, we're going to dominate, because we got Malik Brown guarding PJ Hall, or Quadir Copeland guard Shefflin, which is obviously they 40, 50 pounds more than those guys. So yeah, I'm gonna put the ball down low. And early on, again, we talked about it last night. Red just let him go. You know what I'm saying? He let him play one-on-one. So, and fucking PJ Hall had 21 points in the first half. So for you, being a coach, are you putting that, they start scoring those first couple baskets, I'm throwing that double team at them right away. You know what I'm saying? And obviously I got to be, tactical about the double team. I don't want to double team off Joe Girard. I want to be able to double team off the guy that I guess isn't the best shooter. And then again, if Joe is the guy throwing the ball in the Hall, I guess I'm doubling off the opposite side. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to rotate on the opposite side, either down or up or whatever it may be. But that's what me and Brian were talking about that yesterday. I'm double teaming, bro. And it's funny because I did when I did the Wake Forest Notre Dame game. Wake Forest is one of the best shooting teams in the country, right? And I was watching Notre Dame shoot around. Coach Shrewsbury, he was doubling. He was like, all right, we're going to double off this, right away. And Wake Forest has some big boys too. You had And like so,
Yeah.
but my whole question was, damn, you doubling right away just off of off the first play, like you gonna let those shooters shoot, and he was like, yeah, they gotta fucking make it, like they gotta make those shots
Yeah.
first, and then we'll adjust. But we're not just gonna let motherfuckers just pound us inside and get our bigs in foul trouble, and because it's when you can play inside like that, first of all, and just create that. Now the defense has to really shrink in. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to be scrambling the whole rest of the game. Now you're in foul trouble. So I do think, Coach Shrewsbury, he made a really good point, and he kind of made me open my mind a little bit more to it. But even watching yesterday's game, and I think Red has been doing an unbelievable job. I'm sending that double team early. You know what I'm saying, on PJ Hall. I'm not letting him get 20 points in the first half. And a lot of those were maybe on putbacks and all that. But I mean, I guess what is your perspective off that, Joe? Like being able to double team off, if they're going down low like that and they're eating like that, I'm sending it.
Yeah, no question. So I mean, like you mentioned, you either want a red or double team off of X being one of the worst shooters out there, who you're going to say, okay, well, no matter where this guy is on the floor, whether it's strong side, weak side, we're going to make sure we're double teaming off of him to make him make the shots. You know what I mean? We'll let this guy beat us. Yeah. And of course, with time and space, anybody at this level could be a good shooter. But at the end of the day, we're talking probability. We're talking, as much as I hated analytics and stats, and just making sure, okay, if you're shooting 27% from three and Joe's shooting what he's shooting and RJ shooting what he's shooting, I'm going to let you beat us and see what happens. But my double team would probably, after I seen Hall, he was getting good inside position. Okay, we're having a little trouble with this because, he was back to the basket and he was getting to where he needed to get to. Very mobile, big. I would say you want to make him make plays no matter which block he's on. Make him turn to his left if possible and then send that double team that way. So now he's turning over that shoulder, and if he has to make a play, it's going to be with his left hand, or if he's on the left block, if he's going towards the baseline, now his only option is you want to force him base so he can make a pass with his left. Anything to try to heighten the chances of him turning it over. Naturally, if you're right-handed, your left-handed passes, we take that away. It's going to be tough for you to make a play. You'll have to hesitate a little bit longer. Maybe our rotations could get out there and recover in time. But for sure, you want to send that double team, especially when you realize, if not right away, pretty damn early. You can't wait. And again, he hit 2 threes.
100%.
He hit 2 threes, I think, in the first half, a putback here and there. But then he definitely was getting some block work done. So you definitely want to send that double team, if that's me, a little early, just to, see what he does, just to, throw him off his rhythm a little bit, because that's what enabled him to get those, picked up that rhythm and get 21 in the first half was shit. They're guarding me one-on-one. My confidence at an all-time high. It's senior night. Give me the ball and let me work. I'll make plays for us. You know what I'm saying? So if you throw him off his rhythm, now we're in a different ball game.
Yeah, and I think you hit it on the head, saying, because I'm sending it early, if not on the catch after one dribble, because now 2, 3, 4 dribbles, he's too deep. You know what I'm saying? Now double team, it's a longer closeout. Now you scrambling longer. It just gives them opportunities for pump fake, one dribbles, getting to the lane, wide open shots, whatever it is. But I'm sending that double team early. And then it's high hands. I'm making sure that I'm locking in with the other guy. And then it's up to PJ Hall, whoever it is, to be able to make that play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just let a dude continue to, bully you down in the post. I'm sending it, and then I'm adjusting and seeing how he adjusts to that. And now if he adjusts to what we're doing, we got to adjust to that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the game. Exactly. It's a game of chess. It's a game of chess. You know what I'm saying? I think we should have earlier. We should have sent that double team rather than let him get 21 points in the first half. And we got to adjust and see if they can beat us a different way. But again, it's easier said than done. And I like what you said, being able to. And the defender has to know, bro. Like, I think Malik Brown, and I said it yesterday, he could be in consideration for a defensive player of the year, just a forward averaging like 2.5 steals a game. But his on the ball defense, it's harder when you're guarding a guy like PJ Hall. Yeah. He's 50 pounds bigger than you, but it's up to him now to, once he gets the ball, now I gotta shade him towards the baseline so I know where my help's coming. Like, guys have to know what to do on the court in that situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they just out there playing, not even really knowing the scouting report. Like you said, hey, I got to make him go over his left shoulder or whatever it might be. Like that stuff goes a long way when you really focusing on the scouting report. And I think even for me, when I was playing, I didn't really look at the scouting report as much as I probably should have, just to know like tendencies and where he likes to be on the court. You know he likes to dribble two dribbles to his left and pull up. If he's going right, he's trying to go all the way like that. Those little details, that's going to help you out a lot more as a player, especially when you starts getting into the game and he starts finding a rhythm. Now you be like, all right, I got to cut this shit off, or I got to make him go this way. So, and bro, like, let's hit it. Let's nip it in the bud like right away, rather than letting this motherfucker get in the second half and he got 25 or whatever it is. Because now it's going to be harder to
100%.
Because he's feeling a rhythm. Like, I'm feeling good now. I don't give a fuck what you take away. Like, shit, I'm in my bag. I got some shit for you. You know what I mean? That
and he
left,
got game too. It's not like he don't got game. DJ got some game. He got game. Baseline drive, hop, step, lay. He got game. You know what I mean? So definitely scout report helps. I mean, we did a few different things. Like I said, on the defensive end, it looked like we went boxing one at some point where, on Gerard, what it looked like on Joe. We played zone, we went man, you know what I'm saying? We switched it up, try to give them different looks, but anything that when we switched up our defense, they were so offensively sound. We're going to keep driving, kick, we're going to punch the gap, we're going to make extra passes, we're going to play out this 30-second shot clock, we're going to find an open shot. And that's what they did a great job of, Clemson, is we're not forcing nor rushing. I think there was a couple times where they were open and still decided to pump fake, drive again, pass, extra pass, to get an even more wide open shot, if that's even possible. Because if I'm wide open, damn, they were waiting for a super wide open one, and they were getting those shots, and they just knew what they were looking for every time down the floor. And that's the difference between how they played and we played. Now, is that a testament to their seniors on Clemson and just knowing I've been through this, like, let's be disciplined, versus us where we're still in our, where we feel like going one-on-one is our best option? Possibly, because, we were coming down there and it was a lot of the same things we've been seeing, despite the fact that, we did fight hard throughout the whole game. It was still a lot of one-on-one. Judah did a great job in the second half, I feel like, getting to his spot right there at that free throw line and getting there and creating something. But again, those 9 assists or 8 assists, that's a big difference right there. As opposed to, we get 8 more assists, that's a I guess a minimum if we're counting field goals of 16 points. You know what I mean? If we get extra 8 assists, and now obviously this is just 16 points. Now we win by 1. You know what I mean? If you're thinking of it that way. But passing the ball and creating more for your teammates, creating more opportunity for yourselves and others is key.
And man, I mean, you said it perfectly. I just think most of the season, and again, like, you can win some of those games, like, playing that type of basketball. You can, but exactly, we have. But and I think a lot of times, like, we were able to get stops in key situations as well while we were playing like that. But really, to be like a championship team, like, you got to have a balance of both. You know what I'm saying? Like inside, outside presence. Clemson has it. Like, Clemson did a great job of moving the ball. We got better guards than Clemson as far as like playmakers and getting to the bucket. They got better bigs as far as scoring bigs. They do a much better job of moving the ball, and they're sound defensively. You know what I'm saying? And they do a pretty good job of taking care of the ball. We did a good job of taking care of the ball yesterday. Only 7 turnovers, but I think, like, going forward, and again, like, Red is still like trying to get these guys to play how he sees it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you have a full, it takes more than a full year, bro, to really get these guys into what he wants to play. I just think, and like, specifically for Judah, like, he's had an outstanding year. Depends on how you look at it, as far as like a scorer, a playmaker, like, but one, he has to be able to shoot the ball better. He has to take more jump shots. I think when he takes more jump shots, it's going to be able to have the defense come out more. You got to be able to make them too. So he has to be able to on that. But it just makes the defense come out more, and it's going to create more space for everybody else. And then, like his assist has to go up. You know what I'm saying? That's just for him, man. Like he has to be the guy who could get 6-7 assists a game. You know what I'm saying? To be, and I think that just makes this team that much better. If we could have a balance of like, boom, we're driving, kicking, we're getting some good ball movement. Chris Bell hitting some jumpers, boom, off the swing. You know what I'm saying? Justin Taylor hitting off the swing, JJ, and then with the add in a little bit of all right, late clock situation, give the ball, pick and roll, boom, we're gonna go ahead, or a situation where we need a bucket, because you need that one-on-one shit for sure. Like if you don't have that, then look, if you don't have that, then you probably won't win a lot of games either. But you got to have that balance of that ball movement and that one-on-one, because too much of one thing it's not going to be good. Yeah, you're going to win some games, but you're probably not going to win the amount you need to get to the NCAA tournament. And again, we fought back like as much as we could this season, but we're just in a situation now where we're gonna have to win 3-4 games, or we're gonna have to win the ACC tournament. As much as crazy as that sounds, at 20 wins, like it's just how it is now. Like you probably gotta get 23 wins, bro, 24 wins to even sniff something. You know what I mean? Because I might be calling them in the NIT. I don't know. I might be calling the games for the Keys in the NIT.
You never know, bro. You never know. I mean, I again, I'm always going to be optimistic, but you always got to be realistic at the same time. Do I think that they have the potential to win 2 or 3 games out there? Yeah, because they've beaten the best and they've lost some games that they probably shouldn't have as well. It's just who's going to show up. And again, we speak about, and I probably mentioned this a few shows ago, but we speak on Judah's not an unwilling passer. He passes the ball. But fuck, them guys got to knock him down, right? He could easily average 2 more assists a game. It's just the consistency in what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? How many, the weapons that we need or that he needs on the court is probably.
He need another shooter
in the sense where exactly,
and he need a big.
If I know I have a shooter on my left and my right, I got a big on my left. I mean, not a big, a shooter left and right. I know that. Okay, defense draw, because I know he's smart enough at this point. Played enough basketball in his life, and now has been a full-time starter 2 years, where he could read a defense probably a little better and understand how defenses are playing him. But shit, if now I'm driving and they're pinching, but my kickouts is like guys who are not really gonna make shots, it's gonna be tough to get assists. Motherfuckers going 0 for 4, 1 for 4. You know what I mean? It's gonna be tough, bro. You know what I'm saying? And again, that goes back to me saying you're not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna shoot a great percentage every game, but you gotta be consistent in what you do. For sure. Like, you got to be consistent in what you do, and that just helps everybody. Like we mentioned from the start, whether it was last year or seasons past, you make shots, it opens up lanes for guys like Judah, JJ to attack the basket and make their jobs easier. You know what I mean? But you got to be a threat on that opposing scouting report for that to happen. If I'm not worried about you making a shot, I'm sagging off. Now I'm, in the gaps a little bit more, getting my hand on the ball and not really worrying about this guy making a shot, because one, either he's not going to take it because we know his confidence is shot, or two, like he's not shooting great. So we're going to live with him taking these shots. And if this is how they're going to beat us, then this is how they're going to beat us. You know what I'm saying? QC hit 3 threes yesterday. I think it was 3 for 6, 3 for 7. They're not worried about him beating them from 3. You know what I'm saying? But if Bell, who has hit 10 threes,
those were wide open season.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? And those are the type of shots that we need to get. And so, but they know in their mind this is a shooter. So they're playing Bell much different than they're playing a QC or playing a Justin at this point in the season, or even a JJ. So that just is lab work, bro. Lab work, like you mentioned, all summer. Let's get in the lab. Let's make sure we're straight. Whatever happens next for the end of this season, continue to work. You know what I'm saying? Play as hard as you can, but and I don't want people thinking I'm thinking about next season already. But as it goes, once this season is done, make sure those individual guys, you gotta come in doing something different than what you were doing this past season. I feel like that's the sign of growth in a player, sign of maturity. and sign of just being coachable, because there's exit meetings, bro. Like I mentioned to you before on this show, and I've told this story many times, when Boeheim told me I was fat and this, that, and the third, I wouldn't be able to, play if I can't run the floor, I can't shoot the ball. Okay, bet. What did I do as a sophomore? I lost mad weight, came back 205, 4% body fat. I was running faster, jumping higher. That put me into that I played my way into getting Big E 6 Man of the Year. Okay, cool shit. Next year, Wes is gone, Andy's gone, so and so is gone. Shit, Chris Joe gonna be the man. What I gotta do? Shit, Murph, I gotta shoot better. Oh shit, what? We got G-Mac, me and G-Mac working in the summertime. Ooh. I come back shooting the three ball much better. Lead the team in scoring, third team all Big East. For senior year, shit, I'm the man now. First team all Big East. I'm shooting the ball back. Like, you just got to grow every year, but you got to know that right here. Between the ears is where it starts. No one else can just force it. The between the ears is where it starts, bro.
And I think too, bro, I mean, these kids, they got to look at it as regardless how the season went for them, they got to look at it as an opportunity, like you said, to get better. Like, dude, this is hoop. Like, this is basketball, yo. Like, this isn't a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? It's. I know, if anyone knows, we know, motherfucker. Like, basketball was us. This was like our identity through a lot of our life. You know what I'm saying? Up until a certain point, but. And still, in some ways, like, people look at us, they think basketball. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
for sure.
But like, I think that these kids, they put so much pressure on themselves, or people put so much pressure on them, like it's a life or death situation when they're not having a good season or whatever it is. But really, it's like anything in life, bro. It's a chance to figure some shit out and figure out how I could get better, because the opportunity is there. If you're a basketball player at Syracuse, you're going to have 24-hour access to get into that gym, to be able to get into that weight room. So regardless of how this year is going, you got to look at it as an opportunity to get better and grow. Like, man, I got an opportunity to come in here in the summer and really work my butt off every single day. Like, if I was able to get in the gym every single day and get shots up every single day from now until next season, I mean, my shot can't do anything but get a little better, or my body can't do anything but get a little bit better. But it's all about how much do you want it? How disciplined are you willing to be? Like, how many sacrifices are you willing to take to be able to get to where you want to get? You know what I mean? People got to sit down with themselves and really ask themselves, like, and bro, I think that's just with life, yo. Like, if you want to get somewhere and you want to do something. And I try to do it with myself all the time, because, Joe, we get off track, yo. Like, we're able to get, yo, all right, yeah, all that. We get off track, you know what I mean? But we got to be able to sit ourselves down and be like, yo, where do I really want to go with this? What do I want to do? Like, these are the things that I have to do every single day. I got to get out of routine. I can't worry about what they're doing or what's going on over here. Like, that is out of my control. That's out of my control. Like, what can I control going forward for me to evolve and grow as a person, as a player? Those are the things that we got to do. And it's hard at that age. It's hard at that age, Joe, to really to be able to do that. Because I was at that age, but I think if they could,
that's why we got coaches. That's why we got some of the best coaches in America. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got guys who have played, for the most part. Every guy on that bench, all except one, went to Syracuse. You feel me? Been the man at one point or another, or, been a key contributor, you know what I'm saying, on a Syracuse team. So they know what it takes, bro. Like, G-Mac know what it takes to go from, playing with Melo to now different roles every year. Red know what it's like to play a different role every year, and how to get better and how to contribute to a team, and how could you impact success? How could I impact success? And sometimes, bro, impacting success doesn't mean you got to score the ball. It's just making the right plays and doing this. And like, the biggest word of the day, bro, is sacrifice. What am I willing to sacrifice? Am I willing to sacrifice going home this summer so I could lock in and get stronger? You know what I'm saying? Work with Ryan on a daily. Listen, at the end of the day, these guys get paid a lot of money to be there to help you at the end of the day, right? As players. So Yeah, like Ryan is going to be there for you if you so choose to hit Ryan. Ryan, I don't think is chasing anybody like to come work out, and that's why I am how I am today, is because no one ever said like, Kris, come work out. Ryan or Murph didn't force me to come work out. Could we get a lift in afterwards, a quick little circuit? Hey Murph, could we get a quick little whatever it is, even if it's fucking making 53s before you leave the gym every day, but you do it consistently. Mind you, you're in the gym however many days a week over the course of a year. If you make 53s, let me just leave making 53s a day. If you just want to put it at that, which it should probably be more, but just that alone, you're gonna get better. Just that alone, like just having that discipline to be like every day after practice, I'm gonna make 53s before I leave. Or maybe you want to go 10 for 12 from each spot before you leave. Whatever it is, and then you might end up making more threes. But whatever it is that you need to do to get better, these guys are in place to help you, bro. There's 18,000 managers there to rebound for you if you can't get a coach.
Yeah. No
you feel
doubt.
me? Like everything is there at your disposal just for you to be able to, I don't want to say the word use, but it's there for you to use to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like these are peoples and things that you can use to get better on a day-to-day basis, bro. And mind you, like you said, from today till the start of next season and beyond, like that should be the mindset. And again, I'm not saying that it's not. I have not a fucking clue what they do. But what I will say is there hasn't been much change from the start to where they are now. So I don't know how much is being done. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to get misconstrued. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just saying visually from the outside looking in, we got to get to another level. Certain guys got to get to another level if they want to get to the next level, but also if they want to be able to be a key contributor on one of the best teams in the nation, next season.
And just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, I think one of the most important things too is, and we know the most, yo, this shit is not forever, yo. You will not be in a college uniform forever. You will not be able to get the help from these coaches. Well, I mean, you'll be able to call, but you will not be able to have these managers at your disposal.
Not that hands-on.
You're not gonna be able to, yo. This is because once it's done, yo. I'm telling you, like, so the opportunity that you have before you to be able to put on a Syracuse uniform, to be able to have this access to these people and to these facilities, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, yo. And I'm telling you, from just playing, take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Like every little piece that you can, bro. Like every little, and I'm talking about when you're going on the plane, rubbing shoulders with the boosters. You know what I mean? Just getting relationships. Like this is a different part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll be there when you're done, when you're gone, when you're not even in Syracuse anymore. Like all these little things. Like and I wish somebody told me that, and they probably did. I probably just didn't fucking listen like that. You know what I'm saying? But here we are, having been through it, having went through it, and telling y'all, like, man, take everything that you can out of this experience, bro. For these 1, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it is, like, do all that you can to squeeze everything that you can, out of this experience, and get everything that you can out of it. Because, bro, when it's done, that shit is done. You hear what I'm saying? You'll be able to come back to the little alumni events and all that, but the feeling that you get on that court when you hear those fans screaming, when you go out the back of the dome and see everybody waiting for you to get autographed, that shit doesn't last forever unless you a motherfucking legend. Like I don't know. I think me and Chris Joe, like we can still get that a little bit, but on some real shit, like that feeling, like that can't last forever. That's not gonna be there forever, man. So. Yeah, they got to really take advantage of this time and these opportunities that they have, and just fucking be in it, yo. Like really enjoy the shit, because too many times, like we have like so many great things going on, and it's so people put so much pressure on us, and we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we can't even fucking enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We can't even enjoy it, bro. I look back all the time like, damn, man. It's like, oh, I was lucky, motherfucker. I get to go on those charter planes and meet
Facts.
these motherfuckers.
Nah, 100%.
Play in the garden, bro. Who the fuck gets to play in the garden like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On like
Multiple
these are
times
once
a
in
year. It's crazy.
multiple times, dog. So I mean, the Mecca, yo. Like so it comes down to being grateful for shit, yo. And as much as like I guess like you could say corny or whatever it is, yo, dog, when you are grateful for shit, you go a little bit harder because you know that shit could be taken away at every fucking time, anytime,
No
yo.
doubt. No doubt.
Like anytime. So like sacrifice, that's a great word, and then grateful, yo. Being grateful for like I'm grateful for the opportunity just to talk shit here.
100%.
I don't know if motherfuckers like it or not. They I think they do, but man, I'm just grateful to be able to speak my piece, man. You know what I mean?
That's
And do
it,
it for
bro.
my brother.
That's 100% facts. Everyone, we missed last week. I'm like, God damn, this shit feels strange right here. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I was excited to get back on here. You know what I'm saying? And there was a few people hit me and said, where are you guys? What happened this morning? So that just shows me that, you know, I appreciate y'all too. Everybody that comes in here and tunes in and listens from 10 to 11. I appreciate y'all. You know, Devo, you already know how I feel about you, bro. But this is a great. I'm grateful for this experience that we've been. This is our, third season. You feel me? And it's been great, bro. But yeah, no question. Sacrifice and grateful, no doubt.
Yeah, being grateful. And shout out to all the like Jordan, Brian, everybody who doing their thing back at the studio, making it happen because like it's a team effort, yo. Like this is a team effort. So really grateful
Paulie.
for Paulie. You know what I mean? Shout out Paulie. Like
Shout
just
out to
giving us the
Paulie.
opportunity to do this. Like
Yes,
we're able
sir.
to kind of like speak our piece and kind of like put our positivity out in the world, even if it's fucking 5 people watching. That made a difference to them 5 motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
No
So
doubt.
I'm definitely grateful, man. And I know we only got a couple minutes, but I want to shout out our sponsor, Flintstone. We, come on, man. We're grateful for them to be able to come on board and make it happen. And if you need to take a walk down the street, it's right down the street from Galaxy, man. Go. It's raining today in the queue, so I don't know. You might want to spark you one up today. But shout out to Flintstone and Mike Flynn and. For holding us down on season 3. And we have another guest. What's up, baby girl? Yeah.
A little under the weather, but she looking as good as can be, man. It's my baby girl.
She's
right
beautiful.
now.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about right there, for real. Like all the other shit is irrelevant. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, hey Joe, before we hop off, man. I guess just give me a little prediction about this ACC tournament. We're not playing this weekend. We got to bye, and then we're going into next week. I think we're playing Wednesday night. What do you think we're gonna do? We obviously got to go on a roll, and maybe like the 05-06 team I was on. We won 4 games in 4 days. Motherfucker said we'll never do it, but we went and did it. So it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. I think of that team right there. That's a great thing. I was thinking about who could this team be compared to. The odds are stacked against us. But at the end of the day, as long as those guys in the locker room believe, that's all that matters, bro. It's going to take a lot of effort. And again, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. And it's going to take people not caring who gets the credit for who does what out there on that floor. So if it's about scoring or making an extra pass, let's just make the right plays. It's going to be difficult, bro. We're playing 6.5 guys, 7 guys on a good day. But I do know one thing is that Coach Red is going to have them guys ready. So I do see us we could beat anybody in the conference. That's a fact. We could beat anybody because, like you mentioned, any game that we go into, we have probably the best guard on the floor, if not top 2. There's not too many players that's going to be better than Judah out there on the floor, right? So that alone, I'm going to the game feeling good as an alum, as a fan, and as a Syracuse player. They should know that there's nobody on that floor, or not too many people on that floor better than Judah. So we could definitely do what it do. And I do think we could reel off, 3-4 wins and get some important wins that maybe squeeze us into that bubble talk. And maybe we could dance a little later on this month.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's the case, man. But we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Wednesday 10 to 11, we back next week, and that'll be game day for the Q. So we're looking forward to getting back to it. Your boy and Chris Joe, man, we out of here on this Wednesday. You already know.
Yes, sir.